Alright mate, and welcome to Native English with Chris. Now if you like British English, then today is going to be the lesson for you because I'm going to teach you my top 10 British English phrases. Phrases that natives from the UK use every day. And I've already used one phrase in the introduction to the video. That was alright mate. So in British English we say alright just as a general greeting meaning hello. And we say mate to pretty much everybody, whether it is your mate, your friend, or just somebody you've met for the first time in the shop. So alright mate is a nice British way of saying hello. And if you keep watching until the end of today's lesson, there'll be a fun practical exercise in which you can get involved in and put all the knowledge that you've learnt to use. Could I ask you to please subscribe to my channel? It will help me so much so that I can keep bringing these videos to you. Just before we get started, it's important to bear in mind that these phrases are going to be very informal, conversational phrases that you should use when socialising with your friends, in the coffee shop or in the pub, but you shouldn't really use these in formal business settings with clients that you've never met before. If you've never met a client and you say, alright mate, to him, he might be a bit surprised and think that it's a bit unprofessional. So at number 10, I don't know about you, but it's a bit late and I'm knackered. So the word here is knackered, to be knackered, and this means to be very tired, tired like you want to go to sleep, or to be very tired like exhausted. If you've just done a lot of exercise or you've just been for a long run, then you might say, I'm knackered, like you're absolutely exhausted. There's also a secondary meaning to this. If you drop your phone in the water and your phone is not waterproof, then you will break your phone beyond repair and you can say, my phone is knackered. So another meaning for knackered means to be broken beyond repair. And number 9, so I think I need something to wake me up. Fancy a cuppa? So the phrase here is fancy a cuppa. And if you say fancier, this basically means do you want. It's not fully grammatically correct. Obviously you should say do you fancier, but often when speaking informally, we leave certain words out just to make the phrase a bit quicker and shorter. And a cuppa is very British. A cuppa means a cup of tea, obviously. So if you say fancy a cuppa, it means do you want a cup of tea? You can also use this phrase for other things. You could say fancy a beer or fancy going for a run. It's okay to say it in full as well, like do you fancy a beer? Number 8, go on then, I think it's your round, isn't it? So the phrase here is, I think it's your round. What do you think this means? So in the UK, a round means a round of drinks. So if you go to buy a round, this means you buy drinks for everybody. Because it's UK custom usually that one person goes and buys drinks for everybody, then the next person goes to buy drinks for everybody, because it's a bit less common in the UK to have table service in places like pubs and coffee shops. It's much more common to go to the bar, so you buy rounds. And obviously it's better when you can say it's your round rather than it's my round. Number 7, is it really my round or are you taking the piss? So the phrase here is to take the piss. And to take the piss means to have a joke or to make fun of somebody or to tease. Or you can also say to take the mickey, because to take the piss is a little bit vulgar. So to take the mickey is a little bit softer and a bit lighter. But this is a very common phrase in Britain. So next time your teacher gives you too much homework, you can say, are you taking the piss? Or are you taking the mickey? And number 6, of course it is. Don't be cheeky. So the phrase here is to be cheeky. Do any of you know what this means? So to be cheeky means to be a little bit rude, but in a harmless, appealing, fun sort of way. Like if a child comes up to you and says, can I have some money? Then you might say, oh, that's a bit cheeky, isn't it? Obviously it's a little bit rude, but if a child does it, or if you do it in a funny, joking way, then you can say that's cheeky. Now this is a very British word. I was very surprised when I used it with an American once and she didn't have a clue what I was talking about. So I was a bit cheeky and said, oh, you're not very good at English, you Americans, are you? You could use cheeky in a negative context. If someone is just being rude, you could say he was a bit cheeky, but that means that you weren't too offended. You just want to express that someone was a little bit rude. And number 5, okay then, stop whinging. I'll get the round in. So the word here is to whinge. And whinge means moaning or complaining in an annoying way. Like if your mum keeps whinging at you to tidy your room, she keeps saying, come on, tidy your room, you said you would do it yesterday. Or if your child is whinging that he doesn't want to go somewhere, oh, I don't want to go there, please don't take me there. This is whinging. Whinging is one of my pet peeves, something that annoys me. I don't like it when people whinge too much. Number 4, wow, that was so expensive. Have a gander at this bill. So the phrase here was to have a gander, and this means to have a quick look at something. So if you want to show somebody something, you might say, come over here and have a gander at this. So hopefully you'll have more than a gander at my lesson and you'll watch all of it many times. Number 3, bloody hell, that's ridiculous. This is a very British way of expressing anger or annoyance at something. It's another way of saying damn, or another phrase that you probably know that's quite vulgar that also ends in hell. This is maybe a slightly nicer way of saying it. So when Brexit happened, I said, bloody hell, what a terrible decision. Number 2, oh well, let's drink these. Not too bad. So I'm sure this phrase is used in other countries, but it's really common in Britain to say not too bad. And when people hear this, they think that we mean something is bad, but not really bad. But in reality, this actually means that something is quite good. It also depends on your body language and your intonation. So if you say, not too bad, it means, it's quite good. But if you say, it's not too bad, this means that it's okay, probably, not brilliant, but not bad. If you say not bad or not too bad, it's never bad. It's always good in some sort of way. Number 1, right, it's time for me to go. I'll give you a bell later. So the phrase here is to give somebody a bell or to give somebody a ring. And this obviously means to call somebody. This is one of the most common ways in Britain of expressing that. So if you'd like an English lesson from me, you can give me a bell or give me a ring, even though I don't like talking on the phone too much. So those are my top 10 British English phrases. Just a quick recap of them now. Number 10, to be knackered. Number 9, fancy a cuppa. Number 8, it's your round. Number 7, to take the piss or take the mickey. Number 6, to be cheeky. Number 5, to whinge. Number 4, to have a gander. Number 3, bloody hell. Number 2, not too bad. Number 1, to give someone a bell or to give someone a ring. And now, as usual, for the practical part of my lesson, I'm going to give you a normal sentence without any British English phrase in there. And I'd like you to try and think what phrase or word you could put into that sentence to make it sound more British. So my first normal sentence is, can you buy the drinks? So you can pause the video and have a think about how to say this in a more British way. And that way is, it's your round, isn't it? My next sentence is, don't make fun of me, that's rude. And a more British way of saying this is, don't take the piss out of me, that's a bit cheeky. My last sentence is, this cup of tea's quite good. Now a more British way of saying this is, this cuppa's not too bad. And there you have it. If you start to get these British phrases into your vocabulary so you understand them and maybe start using them, then next time you go to the UK or hear a British person speaking, you'll be able to converse with them and understand them much better. Again, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.